Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today I would like to present the analysis of differences between news and features writing based on the scrapbook that we have. Before we go further, I would like to explain what news is and what features is. News is an event or event that occurs based on simple and concise facts that are accurate and easy to understand. The features explain the significance of event and its offer analysis. Now, we go to the differences between news and features writing. The major differences between news and features writing is the timing. A news is time sensitive and of immediate interest. Basically, the media outlets want to publish news stories quickly as possible after an event occurs. For example, the stories that have immediate interest is election results, an accident, product launch, etc. However, a features article are not as time dependent and contain no urgent content. Feature story also can be write one anytime. Okay, next. The second difference is based on the content. A news article reports the facts. The writer start with the most important information. They use the 5W and 1H that stand for who, what, where, when, why, and how. It is written straightforward, concise reporting style. However, the features article is a human interest story about a person, event, or place. The features article highlight one aspect or significance of the story. It is less formal style, may take an odd twist or heartwarming angle. It is also long and literally more detailed.
Hi everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Atirah Ramli. We'll continue the point of the differences between news stories and feature stories. The third point is structure. The news story structure contain inverted pyramid style format or called IPS format, which contain the more important, the less important, and the least important. This way, the reader can get basic information in the first sentence or two. For example, for the news of polis kutip cebisan daging mangsa nahas, the paragraph in the box was the most important things in the news. In the other hand, the feature story allows the subject matter to determine its format, whether it is in a standard outline form or not. As for subject matter, feature cover endless topic from profile to narrative, interviews, essay, expose, house tours, columns, and reviews. Fourth point is the length of the both story. News stories are short with average between 100 to 400 words. News pieces aim to convey information quickly. They are therefore usually quite short and direct. For example, the news of Raja Bincang Cadangan Muhyiddin contain only 339 words. Meanwhile, the feature story are longer and dig deeper into the story with the average word between 800 to 2000 words. The feature are aimed to the reader who want to know more and broaden their understanding. For the example, the feature of Terima Kasih Ustaz Abiliu contain 800 words.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before that, we hear about timing, content, lead, and structures. So here I want to share with you about another differences of news and features writing are first, language. News usually more to report to give the information about event, while the features using descriptive and creative to attract people or reader to read. And the second, title. The news usually not long about usually use word 3 or 4 word only in headline, not long. But the features quite long in headline, and after the title have the name of director. Okay. And lastly, opening. The news have two things. First, place of event and the date of event. But the features begin with the element of data and proverb. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Now, I will analyze news based on the element which is the headline. The headline are the main point of the news. Okay, I will take an example from two news, which is from local Malay news and international news. Firstly, I will talk about a feature of the local Malay news headline. Polis kutip cebisan daging mangsa nahas. Okay, first feature news headline is in bold. Usually, the headline of the news is in bold. After that, the headline of the feature is interest to the reader and catchy. it is because the headline can attract people to read full news. Okay, then this is a serious headline because it is about accident. Lastly, the headline of the feature is action verb. Okay, after that, the headline from international news: Tokyo see through toilet aim to enhance public space. Okay, the feature is also in bold, interest the reader, and catchy. Okay, then the headline uh, is humorous because usually the toilet is closed, but in Tokyo, the toilet can be seen from the outside. That's all from me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Afiqah binti Aziz. I want to present a part of lead in our news. The lead or opening paragraph is the most important part of news story, with so many sources of information: newspaper, magazines, TV, and the internet. We have choose 6 types of lead in our news. The first lead is summary lead. A summary lead concisely tells the reader the main idea of the story or conveys its news value. The summary lead is the most traditional lead in journalism article. The traditional journalism tools used to start off most hard news stories. Summarize the event and answer the question: who, what, when, where, why, and how. The example of summary lead is first, Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafah Bilal Shah berkenan mengadakan rundingan dengan Raja-Raja Melayu dalam masa terdekat untuk memperhalusi cadangan dikemukakan Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin. Second example of summary lead is the United States broke its daily record for new coronavirus infections on Friday, October 23, as it reported 84,218 new cases due to outbreaks in virtually every part of the country, according to Reuters tally. Okay. The second of lead is observational lead, which means when offering an authoritative observation about a story and how it fits with the larger picture. You should make sure you know the broader context of the subject matter. The example of observational lead is Tunku Mahkota Johor Tunku Ismail Sultan Ibrahim bercadang mewujudkan youth center atau pusat belia di setiap daerah di Johor sebagai visi baginda membangunkan belia Johor menjadi model insan berakhlak mulia, bertanggungjawab dan berkebolehan. That's example from observational lead. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Ayuni binti Rosli. My metric number is 11801887. Okay, so let's continue with another lead. There are 2 leads that I will explain. The first one is picture lead and another one is delayed identification lead. Let's go with the first one. Picture lead is describe a person, a place, or an event, and at the same time creating a mental picture of the subject matter in the mind of the reader. Let's see the example of lead. Tokyo public toilets are usually a welcome sight to anyone who has had too much to drink, but some might do a double take when they come across the ones that have just opened in a Tokyo park. So let's move to the another lead, which is delayed identification lead. This lead actually is under type of summary lead that is used when the who in your lead is not identified right away because it isn't deemed as important. Age, location, occupation, or another modifier is used in the first paragraph instead of who in the first paragraph. Then the person is identified by name in the second paragraph. Means as you can see, example of lead. Alur Gajah, anggota polis terpaksa mengutip cebisan daging mayat pengawal keselamatan yang terbunuh selepas digilis trailer di Jalan Bukit Balai, Durian Tunggal dekat sini semalam.
Okay, next, other lead news that have in our news scrapbook is quotation leads. Okay, what does it mean? Okay, the quotation lead is a direct quotation that stands out as an important element of the story. Okay, for example, Petaling Jaya, Malaysia need unity and togetherness to fight the war against the COVID-19 pandemic, says Tan Sri Nur Hisham Abdullah. So, we can see that the writer used quotation leads in her writing. Okay, next, creative lead. Okay, the purpose of the creative leads is to capture the interest of readers where a summary lead might not. Okay, for example, Sardis City, a 200-pound tortoise named Spark Plug that escaped from a pen in Alabama, is back home after a journey across 2 counties and at least 1 soybean field. Okay, so I'm, as a reader who read the news, also felt interested and I think it's hilarious.
Hi everyone. Okay, now we continue about inverted pyramid style. Before that, I will explain what are the inverted pyramid style. As we know, inverted pyramid is most often used in journalism, and inverted pyramid is a way of front loading a story so that the reader can get the most important information first. Okay, we also choose 2 different newspaper to analyze inverted pyramid, which is local original Malay and local English news. Okay, now I will start from the most important information in this local Malay news. The most important information is in paragraph 1. Okay, then the less important news in paragraph 2, and the last, the paragraph 3 is the least important information in the local Malay news. While in the local English news, the most important information is in paragraph 1. Then paragraph 2 and paragraph 3 is the less important. Then the last one is the least important in this news based on paragraph 4. That's all from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.
Okay, I will explain about the element of quotations and attributions in news writing. Okay, first is quotations. Quotations are divided into 2, namely direct quotations and indirect quotations. Direct quotation use the exact word, while the indirect quotation, also called a reported speech. Okay, next is attribution. Attribution means stating who said something, so that the readers can know who is speaking about the information in the news story. Okay, the first example is a writing of a printed newspaper, which is the local Malay newspaper. So in the example, the orange underline is the example of attribution, and the black one is the example of indirect quotations, and the purple one the example of direct quotations. Same goes to the second example, which is a writing of an online newspaper, which is the local English newspaper. It is also used the same element, which is direct quotations, indirect quotations, and also the attributions. So that I can conclude that these 2 elements, which is quotations and attributions, are used in news writing, both printed and online newspaper.
Okay, next I will discuss the analysis about type of news, whether it is scheduled or unscheduled event. What is scheduled and unscheduled event? Okay, first, scheduled event means that the reporter were invited, such as invited to a talk or press conference. For instance, our group identified that this news is scheduled event because the reporters were invited to that press conference to get the latest update about COVID-19 case. And the other type of news is unscheduled event, which means that the news was created by media or something that happened unexpectedly. As we can see in these 2 news, it is example for unscheduled event because this incident happened suddenly and unplanned. So in this video, we can conclude that creative in news writing style is a must to attract readers to read more detail about the news. And the most important thing is that the fact in the news must be truthful, not fake. Thank Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay safe, stay at home. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.